Welcome back to Squawk Box. Now for a look at the state of the holiday travel season and what is ahead in 2025. I want to welcome a guy that I follow religiously on social media and on everything. The Points Guy founder, Brian Kelly, is here today. They're unveiling the 2024 TPG Awards, highlighting the best companies in every phase of travel, from airlines to hotels and more. It's nice to see you, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so let's go through the list. What's at the top of the list? Who's the best?
So this year we did data surveys, and we had our editorial staff. We didn't want to just do popularity contests because we wanted to actually highlight the best brands in travel. And I would say the best airline loyalty program went to American Airlines.
Okay.
Because their miles are actually still really, really valuable. You can,
Right.
60,000 miles on American, you can fly business class to Japan.
Whoa.
70,000 miles, you want to go to Asia or the Maldives on Qatar Airways. So American.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, so people always equate the airline,
That's
you know,
way better.
well, I don't like American as much to fly on. We want to tell people it's not about the flying on that airline, their loyalty
So
program.
we're not talking about the product,
The product,
per se.
that's
Is it
not
harder
it.
to get the miles?
No,
Like-
so American miles are a little bit harder to get. I think that's why
Okay,
they're
that's
so
why.
much more
That
valuable.
makes sense.
And they're harder to get because what? And
Wait,
what?
Because you can't transfer in from all the major loyalty
Right. So what credit
cards.
card can you use at all, if at all,
So
to attach to
the
this?
best premium credit card that won this year is a Capital One Venture X. So
Okay.
a lot of these credit cards are now, Amex Platinum is now $695. The Venture X is $395, and they give you $300 a year towards travel. And you get into Capital One lounges with guests still. So what we've seen in the lounge space is the airlines have really cut back. You have to spend $75,000 on Delta cards to get in.
Right.
Capital One, their lounges, they only have 3 right now. There's more coming out, but they're beautiful. And frankly,
Where
that
are
card's
they?
really only $95.
Yeah, where are they, though?
They have
Road Warriors out there.
Dallas and Denver, Dulles, and opening up soon in JFK. But they're beautiful. They have Peloton bikes.
Okay, who else is on your list?
So best all-around credit card for, the intro is Chase Sapphire Preferred, which wins year over year, really flexible. No annual fee is the Bilt card, because you can still, from a consumer perspective, earn points on rent, which is most people's largest expense, at no fee.
Bilt has come on strong. We had that. We had.
I saw that interview, yeah. And, from the business side, from the consumer side, it's a slam dunk.
Right.
No fees. So I tell people, keep taking advantage of that.
That Bilt card.
If
No,
you
I see
pay
you
rent,
online talking about the Bilt card.
yeah, so that's a no-brainer. And, best business class internationally, Qatar Airways Q Suites, which is a perennial winner.
You're saying that for the product, it's
for the
best?
product itself in business class.
What's the best domestic airline in your mind, taking the points piece off the game?
Well, so for economy, it's JetBlue,
Okay.
even though JetBlue has some operational problems. But I think our message with the TPG Awards this year, we hit 2 days in 2024 with over 3 million passengers. Travel's going to be up next year. There are production delays with Boeing. There's a lot of pressure. Even with Spirit being in bankruptcy, there is pressure. If Spirit's going to come out smaller, airfares are going to go up, so consumers need to be savvier than ever with loyalty and credit cards, and there still are a lot of valuable cards out there for consumers. So I think the message of this awards is don't give up on the points world. In the U.S., it is still so incredibly lucrative. Ask your friends in Europe. They don't have all the points
Is there
options.
ever an advantage, ever? So normally, if you're trying to take advantage, I know all the tips you've been telling me. You take all the points that are on your credit card, you transfer it to the airline. You don't ever let American Express try to...
Yes.
Never try to book it through Amex or try to book it through the Chase Sapphire card itself, because you just
transferring points is where you get all the value.
Right. So, but every time I do that,
Yeah.
sometimes you check to see if there's availability.
Yeah.
And then you have to go transfer it. And I'm always scared for this 5-minute window.
Yeah.
Because also you don't know how quickly. Sometimes they say it could take 24 hours for the points to get transferred. And then you're sitting there going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Yeah. Well, do you use PointMe? So point.me/Amex. It's a free tool that'll actually show you live availability. I always recommend using
Point.me. This is news you can use.
Point.me/Amex. It's free for Amex users. It's actually built into Bilt as well. It's like $100 a year or $129, I think, for everyone else. But whether you have Chase or Amex, Citi, Cap One, it'll actually show you live availability.
Okay.
So and what happens, Amex people will transfer to Delta, but it may be 400,000 miles for a flight. If you transferred it to Virgin or their partner Air France, it's as low as 50,000. So always check PointMe before transferring these huge sums, because there might be a much better transfer partner.
Is there ever going to be, or maybe this the airlines don't want to have it, a market for these points?
Well, we'd love to see a Google Flights for awards.
Yes.
But the airlines, look, they want you going into their ecosystem.
Right.
Point Me is the closest thing to that. It's actually supported by the airlines. There are a bunch of other apps that are kind of cat and mouse. The airlines sue them. You know, loyalty's big business for these airlines. They're now making more money, via loyalty than flying planes. So.
Okay, final question. Do you have any idea how the stowaway made it to Paris? I mean, I've read all the stories.
This isn't a first-time incident. This happens quite a bit.
Really?
Yeah. This is, people slip through. It's human error.
But they did have to go through security. That made me feel marginally better, like the actual security.
Yeah.
People don't dodge the security part. But then they just get on the. That to me is the.
It's crazy. But if you look it up, it happens
without a ticket.
Because they snuck in.
Into
the gate area is always crazy.
Right. They did make it through the gate. They did have to go through the.
When you go through security,
usually they should have two tickets.
You would think so, and this is why I'm a believer. We need more biometrics at all points in airports. The government already has our information. There's no reason why. We shouldn't have more technology verifying facial recognition.
Where are you on Clear these days? How do you feel about it?
It's challenging. I'm still a member, but it's not a slam dunk everywhere you go. I know a lot of people are sort of, not happy that they have all these secondary checks. I know.
I have it, but it's more, I use it almost as like an insurance policy.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to have. If you ever lose your ID, Clear will get you through.
Right.
It's also at a lot of different sporting events and venues. So depending where you're based, I think it can still save time for the cost that it is.